Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 330 to go high school football show. I am Mike Voorhees. If you don't know by now, you'll know here in a second that our game of the week features a battle of the unbeatens as 9-0 Highland travels to 9-0 Aurora in a huge division battle. It is rivalry week for week 10. Right now, I have the pleasure and honor of bringing the Highland Hornets head football coach Mike Gibbons onto the show. Coach Gibbons, it's week 10. How are we feeling?
Feel great. Just excited to be in the position we're in right now, and really excited to go into this game tomorrow night against a quality opponent in Aurora. So, yeah, excited about where we're at as a team, and looking forward to tomorrow night.
Coach, we spoke to you in week 6 right before your game against Barberton. You've got 4 more wins now to that total. I got to ask, are you having fun this year? Is this fun for you?
You know what? I'll tell you what, it is. It's a ton of fun. We have a really good senior class this year in terms of not only talent, but just leadership. Phenomenal group in terms of what they bring day in and day out, whether it's the weight room, the film room, or out to practice. So, I think it starts with them and the attitude that they have and the love they have for each other. So that makes, the season very, very special. And to be able to do what those guys are doing right now and head into a big week 10 game, couldn't be more proud of our team.
Coach, we know your offense has been incredible. Casey Meiser, he's putting up video game numbers. I don't know if you've looked at your stats. You probably have. Maybe you haven't. Mm-hmm. Almost 1,400 yards rushing, 20 touchdowns, 11 catches, another 320 yards, and 5 more touchdowns. So 25 touchdowns. That's incredible. Plus, he has a tackle on defense. He is a natural athlete. I mean, how much has he grown this season? I mean, obviously, you've seen him now as he's a senior. What do we need to know about Casey? Just, we know he's a great student athlete. He's obviously a natural athlete on the football field, but let us into his world a little bit.
Yeah, Casey, a tremendous football player, right? I mean, anyone that goes to the game sees that he's a threat every time he touches the ball to go all the way. So, but above that, he's a great kid. Maybe something that doesn't show up all the time. If you're just watching us play, he really is a great kid. He cares about his teammates. He's a leader. He's very coachable. Outstanding football player. He's a great baseball player too. He's special on the baseball diamond as well. So just a multi-sport, great kid. Obviously, it speaks volumes to someone that is able to do more than just one sport. But super proud of him, and he's breaking all these records, and he understands that it's a team game, and he's got a special group in front of him with our offensive line, our tight ends, even our receivers, and our quarterback, right? He's having a great year, but I think he would be the first to tell you that it's a team game.
Well, hopefully he has treated his offensive line to lunch, a breakfast, maybe a dinner or two. I mean, obviously it starts with them up front, able to create alleys and avenues for him. But we can't look away from your defense. Like when I look at those stats that you sent me, they're eye-popping. You've only given up 65 points total this year. That's an average of 7.2 a game. When you hear that number, what does that do to you?
Yeah, I think it goes back to preparation. Our defensive coaches do an outstanding job. They really put together a great game plan every single week. And then it's up to our kids to go out there and execute at a high level. And our kids have done a great job all season long of really buying into whatever the plan is for that week and what we have to take away from the opposing team. And, I think the kids do a great job. The coaching staff is doing an outstanding job. And it really is a collective team effort. So just proud of everybody on that side of the ball. And it starts with basic things, right? Just running to the ball, tackling well, getting off blocks, attacking the ball in the air. So, schematically, that stuff sometimes can be overrated at times. And just the ability to run to the ball and tackle is something that this group does really, really well.
Coach, obviously, I want to take a little time travel, a little backwards here to the start of the season when you guys were doing the summer workouts, the 2-a-days, all of that. Did you know how special this team was back then?
Yeah, I had a feeling we could be tough. Obviously, last year, making it to the regional finals and having a really good year, and then knowing that you got a good group coming back. So you knew you could definitely be in the conversation. But what I'm most proud of this group is just how they've attacked every single day. I mean, after we lost to Avon in the regional finals, I show up the next day and the film room was packed. The kids, had a film session. I didn't tell anyone to come in. They just did that on their own. And it's really been that way the whole entire offseason. These kids have trained 2 to 3 times a day. They're relentless. So it's been really pretty amazing just to watch as a spectator sometimes, to see how hard they pushed it. And, this is a byproduct of that hard work.
Well, we love following what Highland is doing. Obviously, all of our local teams. There's 7 undefeated teams, which is unbelievable to me. We'll talk about them on our show tomorrow morning. But tomorrow night, you make the trip to Aurora. The Battle of the Unbeatens. You're both 9-0. Playoffs start next week. You guys are currently sitting in the 2nd position in Division II, Region 6. You've clinched a home game to start the playoffs. How important is it for you to know that you have that home field advantage to kick off the playoffs?
We've been fortunate enough to have that the last few years. I know our kids love to play in front of our fans at home and in front of our community. So I know that means a lot to, especially our seniors, knowing that they have another game at home. But at the same time, I think our focus is completely on Aurora. We understand how big of a game this is and really want to do everything we can to finish the regular season strong and head into the playoffs on the right note. So that's really been where our focus is. We really haven't even talked very much about, hosting a home playoff game. Really haven't brought up the playoffs at all because we understand the importance of this game.
You take it week to week. That's the beautiful thing about football. You'll talk about playoffs on Saturday after the game on Friday night. Coach, last year, Aurora won this game 9-7. A defensive battle. Is revenge on the mind of the Hornets?
I think every year, it takes on a personality of its own. Looking at last year, we made way too many mistakes. So you try to learn from the past and say, hey, guys, this is a very good team, right? And if you make a lot of mistakes, you put yourself in a really, really tough position to win the game. So trying to learn from the past, but at the same time understanding that this is the 2024 Highland versus Aurora team. So completely different game, some of the same players, but we're excited to go out there and play a really good Aurora team that's very well coached.
What are you hoping to see both offensively and defensively out of the Hornets tomorrow night?
Yeah, a complete game, right? We have to if we want to win this game. So defensively, continue to do what we've done well all year long. And, understand too that, hey, they're a good team, right? So I know we've rolled as of late here throughout the season, but understanding that, hey, both teams are really good teams, and there's going to be times where you're going to have to battle through some adversity, whether it's offensively or defensively. And I think that'll probably be true for both teams. So it's going to be a slugfest and a 4-quarter game, and we're excited to take part in it.
Coach, what does 10-0 mean to not only you as head coach, but to your senior class?
Yeah, anytime you can go 10-0, obviously, your program had a great year, right? And I really want it for our senior class. At the end of the day, I think that's where my mind is at. And I know that's where our coaching staff's mind's at, is these kids have just put so much into this that it would just mean a lot to them. And that's really what we want to have happen.
So, Coach, before we let you go, you've got the Hornet Nation tuning in. They want to hear what you have to say. What would you like to say to Hornet Nation?
Yeah, just thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. We hear you guys, loud and clear, and we're going to go out there and we're going to play our absolute best for you guys and get this win and bring the Suburban League title back to you guys.
That's awesome. The job is not done. Once again, we want to thank Coach Gibbons of the Highland Hornets for taking time out of his busy schedule to speak with us. Coach, we wish you nothing but the best of luck tomorrow night against Aurora and into the playoffs. Hopefully, we're going to get a chance to talk to you again. We enjoy having you on the show. Coach, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Go Hornets.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Thank you for everything.